Welcome back to Book Bree and Novelness. I'm Bree, and today we're going to talk about a film that's all about dreams, adventure, shoes, and charm.
Who are we discussing?
We are talking about Cinderella, but my second favorite Cinderella, which is Ever After a Cinderella Story with Drew Barrymore and Angelica Houston. And it's my second favorite because you couldn't possibly guess my first favorite. I'm just saying. I don't think you could.
Maybe you're imagining me. And maybe I'm imagining you too.
That's impossible. And we're friends here, so feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd be glad to have you here. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and let's chat. First of all, I gotta say, Ever After a Cinderella Story is a beautiful, beautiful film. They have an amazing cast. The cinematography is impeccable, and the script is so well written. Like, it's simply a classic for me. And my sister and I watch it almost every year because for us, it's tradition. What we love about it is that it's a love letter to 20th and 21st century feminism. So first, let me tell you the premise. Ever After a Cinderella Story starts out with a young girl named Danielle, and she loves to play, read, and dream, and all is well in the world until her father remarries, and he remarries the Baroness. Baroness Rodmilla. And she's accompanied by her daughters, which are Marguerite and Jacqueline. Soon after he remarries, he passes away. So Danielle is waiting and anticipating for this new family to welcome her with open arms. But instead she's relegated to being a servant. Now this girl is about like 9, 10 years old. And for years and years, okay, Danielle remains a servant. And I think this is up until we see her about like 18, 20 years old. Constantly hearing her stepmother and stepsisters boss her around until she meets Prince Henry.
It was fated that we should meet like this.
Hey!
So before I tell the rest of the story, I just wanted to let you know that there will be spoilers throughout this video. So if you'd like to pause here, go watch Ever After, and I believe it's on Disney Plus, and then come back to the video, feel free to. So you're probably saying, Bree, it's the same story of Cinderella. We got the stepsisters and the stepmother. They aren't nice to her. She's a servant until Prince Charming comes along and rescues her. However, this story is a little bit different, and it's based on two things. It is the production and the storytelling. And speaking of production, I had to reheat my tea, and I wanted to show off my new dress.
All I ever wanted to do was look cute in my new outfit.
The production of Ever After became this big hit because of the following things. We had Sense and Sensibility, came out in 1995, had a budget of $16 million. They made $135 million. Box office masterpiece. Y'all, Hollywood was like, what? And we had the screenplay by Emma Thompson and produced by Lindsay Doran. Two women leading this production, and people were like, what? You know, women can produce films? Yes, yes we can. And then 2 years later, we had the phenomena, which was the Brandy Cinderella. And two of the executive producers on that film were the following: Whitney Houston and Deborah Martin Chase. ABC had two Black women executive producers running the show. This was amazing. This was groundbreaking. And they wanted Cinderella to have stronger agency of her character and her story. So this began to be something that people wanted in the media, in their film. So women being able to be in the writer's room, on the production teams, this was very big for the 90s. Muriel Soria and Tracy Trench produced Ever After. We also have one of the screenplay writers, Susanna Grant. This was also on this project. And you might know some of Muriel Soria's work because she worked on Spirit, the Stallion of the Cimarron. Okay, excellent movie, excellent music.
Yeah, because it's like a vibe, you know?
Sinbad, The Legend of the Seven Seas. I gotta do a video on that. And the Madagascar franchise. Just talent. Not only was history being made in production, it was also being made in the storytelling, because this film is inspired by the Charles Perrault's version of Cinderella. In this version, there is, come closer, no magic.
Now you tell me?
How do you have a Cinderella with no magic? At first, when I first watched it as a kid, I was taken aback. I was like, where is the fairy godmother? Where is the magic? Like, I need this to happen in order for, you know, the success of this story, right? But it ended up being more magical without the magic. Since there's no magic in the film, the woman is able to have more agency over her story and the decisions and everything that's involved in this whole journey. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing. So how did they achieve this? Because this seems like a big topic to tackle within this film, but they focus on two main things. Number one, her standing up for what she believes in, and number two, her being herself. So let's talk about how they had Danielle being able to stand up for herself. For example, in the first scene that you see Danielle and Henry meeting, or Prince Henry, she thinks he's a thief. And I think she's throwing apples at this man.
Oh no, you don't know.
She doesn't even know he's the prince. But she was like, I see it, that it's wrong, and I'm gonna call it out. Instead of, you know, during the French Renaissance, she'd be like, oh, I'm a lady, I'm not gonna participate in such matters. But she doesn't see it that way. She's like, if something's wrong, I'm gonna call it out. And then later on, we see Danielle pose as a noblewoman because she wants to free Maurice, who's also another fellow servant, because he was sold off by Rodilla, the Baroness. Okay, that lady she's awful, absolutely awful. Danielle goes up there and she's like, you know what? And she's making her case saying that it is unjust, it's not right, you know, the way we treat people. And then all of a sudden, who do we see over here? Who do we see there in the background? It's Prince Henry.
Hey.
He is so impressed by her passion and her intellect and the way that she advocates for people that he asks her name. And she's like, okay.
I don't know.
I can't say that I'm a servant because then if I do, then I'm impersonating someone. But she's like, but I'll never see him again. So Nicole de Lancre, which was her mom's name, okay? Her mom was a noblewoman. It's because of that the prince decides to tell the jailer to release Maurice. Like, she's like, okay, this power and standing, there might be something to that. She's like, okay, I'm getting to know the system here, okay? And it worked in our favor. The third time, okay, that she's still Nicole de Lancre to Henry, they start dating. Oh, okay, is Cinderella dating? Okay, we haven't seen that. Like, that's a first. Usually we get just one night and that's it. But yeah, she's dating Henry and they're out. I believe they went to go see a library in the woods. I could be wrong about that, but they're, I think, walking back, and then they get stopped by this group of thieves. And at first they're like, oh no, and Henry's like, you know, I'm the prince, I'll protect you. And the way this man was shocked. Because he's like, I'm not really prepared for this type of fight.
I'm a lady in distress. You refuse to help a lady in distress.
But I'm going to pretend. And he is frightened, he is scared, but he's like, I will not show that in front of Danielle. Oh no, I will not. But come to find out that Danielle is like, hey, which one of you is the group leaders? Hello? she's like, can we negotiate something? Like, do y'all need like some, like the jewelry or, you know, the clothes or something? And I can take this man to go. Like, can you free us? They're like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. There is no way this woman is negotiating this whole thing that's going on because we are trying to attack them and take their money and everything. They are just so taken aback. They're like, you gotta be kidding me.
Honestly, that's rather rude.
She is able to impress. I guess these were a nice group of thieves because they would have really hurt them if they were really bad people. But she was able to negotiate that, and then they were vibing with the thieves. They're like, hey, we're having this party, you wanna come along? Like, Danielle did not play. She did not play. And this is why you get to see a multifaceted Cinderella. Like, this is something that we didn't know we needed. Like, it made you feel like encouraged and seen and proud of this character and the way it's being portrayed on screen. Like, good on them. Also, she has one of the most iconic, unforgettable scenes in this film. When the Baroness finds out, you know, her relationship with Henry, okay, she's furious. So later on, after the masquerade ball and everything is revealed, she sells her off to this, like, oh, icky, creepy man. Ew. But instead of Henry saving her, she saves herself. I'd rather rescue myself. The way she is able to stand up to this man, and she is not afraid, and she's like, you know what, you gonna let me go. You gonna let me go, because she's basically saying, I am not the one. I am not the one to be played with today. No, 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 no. You gonna let me go right now. You gonna let me go right now, because I think when she also had that ability to see herself as a noble woman, and know she had that strength all along, also as a servant, she's like, it stops today, it ends today. And the second thing was being herself. Now, in the beginning, we were seeing how she is Danielle as the child, and she is learning, she is dreaming, she is playing, and she really doesn't care for being like, quote unquote royalty. She's just wanting to live her life. Even though, you know, her mom was a noblewoman, her dad was a nobleman. Even though she's relegated to a servant, she doesn't forget who she is. There are times that it is very tough, especially the things that are said by the stepmother and stepsisters is real daunting and horrible. So the confidence and the ability to dream and to keep going is still there, despite from being a noble girl to being a servant. And even when she has to play the noblewoman Nicole de Lancre, I love saying that name, she still remains herself. And even though she doesn't tell him the truth just yet, that she's not putting on a facade about who she is and why she has such passion and wonder for the world. And by doing that, Henry's able to share his story, his background, how he feels, what dreams and passions he has for the world, and what work he wants to do and how to change it. And they're able to connect on that. And last but not least, we have the iconic butterfly dress. When I tell you that this dress is gorgeous. It's not glittery, it's almost like it's illuminating. It's like a cream white illuminating dress with wings on either side, and it is beautiful.
As I live and breathe, I don't think I've ever felt more beautiful.
What a beautiful way to tell this story, because she is quote unquote like this caterpillar, and she's beginning to grow and evolve. And when you see her at the ball as this butterfly, she's now showing all of society who she is and how proud she is of that. Like, costume design team, production, direction, nothing but 10s across the board. This film is just incredible. I'm gonna rewatch it again. It did so much work for cinema and for women, and it's still a beautiful classic to this day. Thank you so much for watching. If you like Ever After or any other Cinderella movies, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. I'd be glad to talk to you, and I hope you have a comfy, cozy rest of your day.